in the building. If he has to make one for us, the game on the line, he will. 44 yards, Bass. No, he doesn't make it. Wide right. Wow. The two most dreaded words in Buffalo have surfaced again.
That was a call on CBS. What a call from Jim Nantz, too. And you hate to have those holstered as a broadcaster because you know how crushing that is to all the Bills fans that are watching.
Right, no kidding.
But that's what makes Nantz the GOAT right there, is he had it in his pocket, and that kick going wide right for Tyler Bass, one, I feel for the guy, because you think of all of the plays that lead up to a potential game-tying field goal, and you have so many other plays that he's not a part of that could have turned the tides of that game.
Yeah.
Look at the fact there's 3 drops in that game. 2 of them by Stephon Diggs, one of them a enormous drop on a perfectly placed ball by Josh Allen.
You almost couldn't even call it a drop because it just went straight through his hands. He didn't even touch it.
But then you go, okay, you missed that 41-yard field goal, okay? Patrick Mahomes also had the ball he had 1 minute and 43 seconds left to work with.
Yeah.
And a timeout.
Yep.
There was plenty of time for Patrick Mahomes to go and snatch the soul from the Buffalo Bills, because we've seen that play out, I don't know. We saw it a couple years ago in overtime.
He's good at snatching souls.
So even if they make it, they have regulation and then potentially overtime to go off of as well. That doesn't make any Bills fan feel any better about the situation, but it is one of those things that I do. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. I do feel for kickers in those moments, because there are so many. If you take the butterfly effects of what happens, like how about the drive, before the missed field goal where they go a 3-and-out and they go nowhere but backwards on the drive. There were plenty of opportunities for the Buffalo Bills to keep themselves out of that situation.
Yeah.
And they did not. And this is what it comes down to. There's something fundamentally wrong with the Buffalo Bills, and it's not Josh Allen. Josh Allen's taken a ton of flack because, look, he's the quarterback and he's supposed to be the franchise guy.
Right.
And I will say, there were times where he was playing hero ball down the stretch, and it's not just because I had a 6-leg parlay where if James Cook gets one more catch for 4 yards, I hit the 6-leg parlay. It's probably helping this conversation, but there were plenty of times where Josh Allen, instead of trying to drive the ball down the field for either a near interception or an incompletion, he could have checked down and gotten the sure yards to alleviate a lot of the pressure. I mean, a lot of people are going to, the forced ball on the double post where he had Stephon Diggs going across the middle, wide open across the middle.
Yeah.
And you have to, and these are the parts where you sit there and all right, we talked about this last week.
Well, was that on third down too? Because that was the play right before the field goal.
Yeah.
It felt like a lot to try to go for in that spot.
Well, and I think that was second down.
Was it? Okay.
If I am correct, I think that was second down. But he took 2 shots deep. But you have to know in that situation that if you're Josh Allen, and with the aggressiveness that Sean McDermott plays with, that you are going to be in 4-down territory right there, right? Like if you pick up 5, okay, on that second down, then what does the playbook do? It opens way up for you. If you're in a 3rd and 4 as opposed to a 3rd and 9, where you're like, I've got to push this ball down the field.
Yeah.
And so there is a little bit element of that. And we talked about last week how Joe Brady in the offense had pulled those reins back on Josh Allen a little bit, and he was playing far more within himself in the context of the game. It got to him a couple of times. That's also what makes Josh Allen great, and you don't want to take that away from Josh Allen.
Right.
But also look at the fact that their defensive injuries, the amount of injuries that they had, and that's not even talking about how limited this receiving core. And I think this is why with Josh Allen, pull those reins back a little bit. You don't have Gabe Davis. Mm-hmm. You lose Shakir, and he's dinged up in that game. You're limited in your skill positions. They were limited on defense. They mentioned in the broadcast they only dressed 4 linebackers in that game, and one of them got hurt.
Yikes.
He ended up coming back into the game, but how thin they are and how depleted they were all season long. Whether it was your best corner who just comes back from an injury, he gets hurt again. Matt Milano goes down with that broken leg at the beginning of the year. Like, they just kept taking shot after shot after shot. And this is why it's like injury luck is a real thing over the course of the year. And how you can't count on, just because we made it to a conference championship game one year, we're going to make it back the next year. Or you go to a Super Bowl the one year, you're going to make it back the next year.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Roster turnover, injury luck, it all plays a massive role into it. And we're going to talk about that with the San Francisco 49ers coming up, because all of a sudden you're looking at them going, uh-oh. They look, we've seen 2 games this year without Deebo Samuel, and they did not look like the same team without Deebo Samuel when he went down against the Green Bay Packers on Saturday. But as it pertains to the Buffalo Bills, like, all of the fingers you want to point at Josh Allen, there's so many other places that you can look at. Was he part of the problem? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Tyler Bass and it wasn't Josh Allen who lost that game. You had so many plays left on the field, including, it was kind of a non-factor because of the worst rule in sports ended up rearing its ugly head.
Yes, it did.
But when Damar Hamlin goes for a fake punt in minus territory during when you're trailing by 3, that was one of the more, I don't care if you have numbers. I don't care if you are sitting there and you're like, they only had 10 guys on the field. It was 4th down in 4 in minus territory of a 3-point game in the divisional round of the playoffs with Patrick effing Mahomes as the other quarterback. Don't call your fake punt.
No.
I mean,
right.
I understand, and like people be like, the call was there. I get it.
Yeah.
I get all of that. Time and place.
Yes.
And there is a time and place for everything. And that was the absolute wrong play at the wrong time. And it damn near bit him, except for Mecole Hardman had the worst game of anybody this weekend. He had 2 touches, minus 1 yard, 2 fumbles.
Yikes.
And fumbled out of the end zone.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it doesn't get much worse than the weekend that Mecole Hardman did. Imagine if they lose that football game. Imagine if we go full on butterfly effect.
Right.
Bass makes a field goal. They stop Kansas City, and Josh Allen ends up scoring in overtime, and they win.
Yeah.
Mecole Hardman doesn't get on that plane back.
Right.
They're leaving his ass in Buffalo. They're Lane Kiffining him on the tarmac.
Now, remind me, if within the field of play, if the player fumbles the ball forward and it goes out of bounds, it just goes back to the spot where the ball was fumbled, correct?
That is correct.
Why do we not do that?
Yeah.
Why does it not apply here, too?
I don't know. They want rules that benefit the defense. I think it's the dumbest rule ever, because we saw it. Actually, we saw it with Dalton Kincaid in that in the game where the fumble where he slapped it out of bounds, right?
Yes.
I mean, they said, illegal batting of the ball. He hit the ball forward. What? But Mecole Hardman's fumble where it goes, because the ball you can bat it backwards.
Right.
Can't bat it forward, though.
Yeah.
But Mecole Hardman airmails it out of the back of the end zone. That's a touchback for Buffalo.
Yeah.
I think it's a dumb rule. It didn't hurt the Chiefs, though. But that's where you go down to. There are so many other plays in a game that Tyler Bass wasn't the reason for it. You got one job.
Yeah.
It was windy.
He missed it pretty bad.
It was cold.
Look, though, did you see the flags at the top of the uprights, though? They weren't moving a ton right there when he kicked that ball.
Yeah, I was noticing that.
Yeah.
They were not.
They were hanging down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buffalo was on their game, though. But the fan base.
Yes.
Throwing snowballs. There was on the touchdown throw Mahomes had in the end zone. They're throwing snowballs at the receiver as he's trying to catch a ball. That was his 3rd and goal, and they're just rearing back and they're ready. Yeah. Like anything, and you know that these guys are all ham-skied in the parking lot. Like, hey, if this guy's going to the end zone, our seats. We got to have the arsenal ready. So we got to Buddy the Elf this thing.
You feel like that'd be a Philly fan type thing. Except I guess with them it'd probably be beer bottles.
No, when you have that much alcohol run through your system, It's you're predetermined. Like all bets are off. Doesn't matter where you're from. They had snowballs, and look, that's the home field advantage.
Yeah.
That's why
I helped shovel all this snow. I can throw snowballs.
Yeah, right. And then they were pelting Mahomes. You see Mahomes after the game. He went to go say hi to some Kansas City fans that were like on the front row, and he started running like just past the sideline towards the stands to go and greet him. There was snowballs just humming. This is post game.
Yeah.
They're like, nope, no, you're not coming over to say hi to anybody. And for those poor KC fans, they're sitting there like, this is our moment to meet Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Only to be sullied by these snowballs that are. He was like, I'm out. See ya.
Well, then I think it was too. Was it Chris Jones giving the old double barrel salute while getting snowballs thrown at him too?
That was
at the end of the game.
Right back to Buffalo when Travis Kelce scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
They gave the double birds and of course 2 dudes wearing 69 jerseys.
Of course,
front row.
Yes,
they're just sitting there like double barreling at Kelce. That's like just waving in Buffalo at this point.
Greetings.
That's
and
just like it's just like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
neighbor, what's going on, neighbor? I got something for you. But the real MVP of that game was none other than Travis Kelce's brother. What? Hey, by the way, Mahomes and Travis Kelce. The fact that they have overtook Rob Gronkowski, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, and Jerry Rice as the combination to connect on the most touchdowns in NFL postseason history.
That's crazy.
That is not a stat we should take lightly.
No.
They have been so damn special.
Yeah. Those are a couple of long-time combos. Yeah.
In the relatively short order that they have been able to do that in has been absolutely incredible. Like they are a duo, and I think, we had a texter, Vancouver Ford text line 503-864-6326. We have, he said that, look, all the great tight ends we have playing now, and Detroit just went and signed Zach Ertz off the street because Wright got injured. He hurt his forearm. And so they're going to have Sam Laporta and Zach Ertz. I don't know. Zach Ertz is not going to play that much and play a big role, especially this weekend. But just think, we do, with Mark Andrews coming back, you have Isaiah Likely in Baltimore, Sam Laporta in Detroit, George Kittle in San Francisco. We have got some incredible tight end play.
That's a murderer's row right there.
Well, and it's the most undervalued position in sports. It really and truly is. Like, they block, they are receivers, and if you got a guy that can do both, your offense opens up so much more for you. It is truly incredible, the tight end play that we have. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes just finding ways to win, and how incredible that is. And when we talk about a coach and a quarterback together, they are never going to be the same when they split apart. Their dominance and how effective they are, just how special Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are. And hopefully they're together for their entire careers, because there is a trust that trickles down to everybody.
Yeah. And it's not like we haven't seen a similar breakup like that in the last couple of years.
That's right.
And how it's gone for each party.
Well, yeah. And look, Brady and Belichick, obviously the two that everybody talks about, even though Tom Brady did win that championship in Tampa Bay, it was different. It was different because you can split them up, and it just is. We'll get into it. It's going to be different. But the real MVP was Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce's brother.
Yes.
In a luxury suite in Buffalo. I first started, it was actually during the Lions-Buccaneers game. I was perusing on Twitter, and I go, okay. Here we are now. A video of Jason Kelce in the parking lot tailgating with the Bills Mafia. And not just tailgating with the Bills Mafia, drinking beer out of a bowling ball.
Oh, wow.
Out of it, I don't know how or why.
Yeah.
But Jason Kelce, I just see this video of him pounding beers in the parking lot in no shirt, a beanie on, and drinking beer out of a bowling ball, and everybody just going crazy. Yes.
I have a question. How much beer can one fit inside a bowling ball?
Boy, I don't know. Because bowling balls aren't hollow, but this one I'm assuming is.
I was going to say, because those things, they're pretty solid outside of the finger holes there.
That's right. I have no idea.
I mean, unless you're trying to go Century Club with the bowling ball or something. But
I think that was the least of Jason Kelce's worries.
Exactly how much beer am I getting out of this ball?
Because this leads me to why he was MVP number 2. All right. Bullet point number 2. I don't care at what point or what photo or what video you saw of Jason Kelce at this game. He had a beer in his hand.
Yep.
He had a Bud Light in his hand the entire game.
Yes.
Like whether it was like the shots of Taylor Swift where Jason Kelce is just sitting behind her without a shirt on still.
Yeah, exactly.
Just in a beanie, drinking a Bud Light, wearing sweatpants and Timberlands, right? He is just a manimal at this point. Whether you want to see the videos or the photos of him when he jumped out of the luxury box into the first row and just started pounding beers with fans.
Yeah.
And just going like full on wrestler, just cutting a promo.
Yeah.
He was just pounding beers with the people. Man of the people, this Jason Kelce is. And then the part that took it over the edge is there was a little girl who had a sign for Taylor Swift, a Buffalo fan, right? A small girl, probably 5 or 6 years old, who probably was flipping off Travis Kelce, her boyfriend, as he was entering the stadium, if we're quite honest, because, again, the Buffalo greeting is a double-barrel salute. Jason Kelce lifts this little girl up, so she's like basically in the luxury suite and demands Taylor Swift comes and says hi to her.
Tay-Tay.
Dude, guy is a legend at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you always look around and you see there's always like this air of people looking uncomfortable because of Taylor Swift's presence.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing changed with this man.
No. He's just like, that's my brother's girlfriend.
He's like, I will still not wear my shirt.
Yeah.
And I will be behind you in this luxury suite. And I am, in fact, wearing gray sweatpants with Timberland boots, and that's it.
Now, what I wonder, next week, can we get he and T Swift in matching outfits?
Only if they're like Jake Browning's girlfriends. Now, that if we do that, if she's wearing like the onesie, like the speed skater suit,
right?
Now we're talking.
Yeah,
give me Jason Kelce and T Swizzle looking like that. The guy's a damn legend, though. He's a man of the people, and that's why offensive linemen are great human beings.
Yes.
Because they will not change for anybody.
They got to have a little bit of that crazy up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really do. I wonder if Taylor Swift is like, you know what? The Kelce family makes me feel normal.
Right.
In a world where nothing about my world is normal, everybody knows. We all have these people in the family. Hell, I am that person in my family. The person that just doesn't know how to act at certain points and is just I'm just gonna do my thing. Am I gonna drink too much at family events? You're damn straight I am. May I say something that offends most people,
probably,
but gets a few laughs? Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. It's gonna happen. That's okay. And I wonder if that Taylor Swift's like, you know what? He makes me feel normal.
Exactly.
This bearded animal out here. And I wonder what the people that are like the yes men and women around Taylor Swift.
Yes.
I wonder what they feel about it. Like they're just like, they're there because they just say, you're right, Taylor, that's great. And then all of a sudden there's this maniac who rams his head into other grown men for a living.
Yeah. Without
a shirt, just wearing his sweatpants, spilling all over it, assuming it looked like he peed his pants the entire game.
Right.
And he might have, because he's a lineman.
Yeah.
That's how they operate. He's my true MVP of the weekend. And God bless you. I appreciate you, Jason Kelce. It really makes me want to get a 62 jersey, even though I know he's retiring. Probably makes it a little easier that he's retiring now. Maybe I'll get the Cincinnati one and not wear it ever, but just have it. Just to be like, it's Jason Kelce.
Yeah. There you go.
Who is nothing like his brother.
No. They're quite different. Yeah. They both have screws loose, but they're in different ways, different parts. Different screws are loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great point here, too. The way Jason jumped back into the luxury box is amazing. That's a hot... You have to get up there.
I don't think I caught him jumping back up in.
Yeah, he didn't go walk around and take the elevator back up. He Spider-Man'd himself right back into that box, and he wasn't wearing a shirt, and it's like 20 degrees outside.
And that's a large fellow.
We need more heroes like him.
Yeah.
Well, we got heroes like him.